Give them a big smile.
Well, welcome back to Houston Live from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Look at this beautiful, beautiful shot. Horseback right in front of the Ferris wheel. I mean, that's probably one of the most Instagrammable things I've seen in a while.
That is beautiful.
And you know, we talk about the rodeo athletes, right, that you're going to see inside NRG Stadium. But what about some of the animal athletes?
Yeah, that is absolutely right. The animals are such an important part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. You can catch them in action inside NRG Arena. Mel Camp hit the dirt for a closer look at the history and the art of cutting horses with a legend in the industry. Hi, Mel.
Cutting, who better to hear from is Kathy Daughn, who's an absolute legend in the cutting world. Take a look.
We do this every hour on the hour, all right?
In the days leading up to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, NRG Arena gets a dumping of dirt and the horse show takes over. Riders come from all over the country to compete in what is one of the world's most elite horse shows. One of the events is the Cutting Horse Show.
The way of the West and our whole heritage is about horses and cows and ranching and all that, right? It's just a fabulous sport. Most people have seen Westerns on TV, okay? Right? And
Yeah.
they had the big ranchers, and Yellowstone has helped us a lot, right? You see the big ranches and the gathering of cattle, okay? And remember, 150 years ago, it was thousands and thousands of acres and not 100 acres. Cutting started because they would be gathering thousands of acres, and you couldn't do it with just the regular ranch hands. So all the neighbors, all the neighboring ranch hands would help each other out. And they have to gather the cows and the calves and sort the cows from the calves. So the best horse, either the owner rode or the top hand had the best cutting or sorting horse. And this horse had bragging rights because he could move through a herd of cattle and he could stop a calf from getting back to its mother really slick and good and with the least amount of effort. So the ranchers just together amongst themselves created this contest, and it developed into what you see now today. And that's how it really started. It started out as being very functional for what the ranchers needed to do.
Today, riders compete for more than just the bragging rights. Prize money is in the tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands. In this sport, legends are made. Kathy Daughn is a National Cutting Horse Association Rider Hall of Fame and National Cowgirl Hall of Fame honoree. She's the second woman to ever win an NCHA Futurity Open Division Championship and the first to win twice, once in 1985, then again in 2020. You've won like 4.5 million. I don't know if
That's true.
give or take. Yeah. How many years have you been competing?
I went to work for Larry Reeder, who was a famous cutting horse trainer in 1980. So, and I'm 65 now, so there you go, do the math.
Just a few years. Wow. What do you love about cutting?
You know what? I was a jack of all trades and a master of none when I started with horses. So I'd ridden all kinds of different disciplines, from jumping to rein cow horses to Arabians, pleasure horses. And I was so fascinated the first time I saw a cutting horse work that you would go into a herd of cattle, put your hand down, and then let the horse do the work. And I thought, that has to have an uncanny amount of intelligence to be able to do that. Cutting horses, not only do they have to worry about the rider on their back or ignore them if the case so dictates, but they also have to watch another creature, a cow. And they have to learn how to control that cow. And they have to learn how to out-dance and figure out what that cow's going to do and counteract the moves. So to me, that's an extraordinary animal.
Now, this is a baby cutting horse.
This is a baby cutting horse. He's 3. He will go to the National Cutting Horse Association Futurity in December, and it will be the first time he ever gets to show. So we take him along for the ride to all these other contests so he gets used to it and familiar with it.
The cheering, when you're sitting watching the competition,
Yes.
it's a particular type of cheer.
Yeah, it's kind of a hoot and a holler, you know? Yeah, it's great fun though, right?
Yeah.
And it's really cheering for one another and cheering for the horses. And the horses, and that's another reason they have to take them with us, because they're the first time they hear that, they're like, oh my God, what's that? I promise you this is true because I've seen it in so many years, but when the crowd, like at Fort Worth, it's a thunderous crowd when a horse really starts working. I mean, everybody's on their feet and clapping and stomping, and those horses, they light up. They know.
They know.
They know.
I feel like Iceman just looked straight down the camera then.
See, yeah, take my picture, see?
Would you say that cutting has taught you stuff about life?
I think it is a great way of life, first of all, because it teaches you to take care of something other than yourself first and foremost. And I think agriculture in general is becoming more and more of a missing ingredient in kids growing up today. I think kids, horses, and dogs are about the same. They need discipline, love, compassion, and above and beyond consistency. I left home when my parents were divorced, and I left home when I was 17, graduated from high school, and I went to work, but I didn't like it, and so I wanted to ride horses, so I did. And there it was. So I pretty much grew up doing that, and I started off with I wasn't a great kid for a long time because I kind of left to my own devices, which I could have really went down a bad path. And horses actually saved me. The wanting to do and be part of their lives and train them and be part of it. I don't know that I've trained them as much as they've trained me, probably, if you're really truth to be told. So that it just became a great way of life.
Absolutely amazing. So awesome to chat with Kathy Daughn, a real cutting legend, lives just down the road in Brenham, Texas. And take a look at this. They're getting the cows ready. There is half a day left of cutting competitions here at NRG Arena at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It's definitely worth checking out. If you haven't come and watched, definitely worth checking out. And if you have, you know what I'm talking about. It's absolutely awesome. But guys, just such a cool thing. And do you think you can do the cheers? I love the cheers. Like you. Am I getting it right?
You sound perfect, Mel. It's perfect.
That's really good. That's really good.
And a fascinating process, by the way, Mel. Thanks for that behind-the-scenes look. And I know it's a tradition for so many families. For some people, their earliest memories is of the cutting.
Amazing.
All right, Mel. Thank you. Still to